"59 years ago, on July 7, 1953, Ernesto Guevara embarked on a trip through South America where he witnessed the widespread poverty and corruption that solidified his Marxist worldview. Born in Argentina in 1928, Guevara, or Che as he came to be known, was a revolutionary at the center of several of the 20th century's bloodiest conflicts. While trained as a physician, he used the gun, not the scalpel, in his fight for worldwide Marxism. It all began in 1955 in Mexico City when Che met Raúl and Fidel Castro, joined their movement, and sailed to Cuba to help overthrow U.S.-backed Cuban dictator Fulgencio Batista. During the 2-year guerrilla campaign, Che played a leading role, and in 1959 became commander of Cuba's infamous La Cabana Fortress prison. For 5 months, he was judge, jury, and executioner, purging the Batista army and exacting quote-unquote revolutionary justice against so-called traitors and chivatos. Of course, there was no due process, no right of appeal. Accused were brought before Che, who gave the thumbs up or thumbs down. Executions were mainly conducted by firing squad. During Che's 5 months at Cabana, he killed at least 100 people. Eyewitness reports, published in books over the decades, claim Che relished his role, often viewing the shootings and taunting the condemned. In a February 5, 1959 letter to Comrade Luis Lopez, Che writes that the executions by firing squads are, quote, not only a necessity for the people of Cuba, but also an imposition of the people, unquote. That sums it up, really. Che was godless. He served the state, which took precedent over individuals. He was a fanatic, ruthless. But because his politics lurched left, he gets a pass in Western popular culture. His crimes whitewashed by elites at college campuses and within the entertainment industry. Che's folk hero status in North America manifests itself on t-shirts, worn mainly by 20 and 30-somethings, bearing his image. The iconic photo taken by Alberto Corda was cited by the Maryland Institute of College of Art as the most famous photograph in the world. Of course, the mindless masses who've helped commercialize the Che image know little of the man, or the true nature of his revolution, which spawned scenes like a January 22, 1959 rally captured by an American newsreel, where Fidel Castro, speaking to a daytime crowd of 1 million Cubans, celebrates the mass execution of his enemies, while the crowd roars, "Sí." 1 year later in 1960, as head of Castro's National Institute of Agrarian Reform, Che led a 100,000-man militia that seized property from peasants and farmers, whose connection with the land, in many cases, spanned generations. But his most egregious act, one that remains outside his spit-shined legend, took place in October 1962. Tensions between the U.S. and the USSR were at an all-time high. Fueled by his hatred of America, Che, Cuba's main conduit to Moscow and admirer of former Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, helped bring Soviet nuclear ballistic missiles to Cuba, sparking the Cuban Missile Crisis, the most dangerous 2 weeks in human history. Without Che's influence on Castro, say many historians, Cuba would never have asked for the Russian missiles. If that's true, Che, more than anyone else, brought the world to the brink of nuclear holocaust. Death to millions in the name of Marx. Where's that slogan? Where's that t-shirt? A few weeks after the crisis, during an interview with the Daily Worker, Che said he would have fired missiles at American targets if only he had control. Che died a bloody death in 1967 at the age of 39 while waging guerrilla war in Bolivia. The executioner executed by a Bolivian soldier. While the Che myth lives on at campuses and coffee houses around North America, in Latin America, reason trumps fiction. Cuban exiled authors such as Jacobo Macover present the truth, not propaganda, about Guevara. He was a killer of the worst kind, a disciple of totalitarianism, who countered the misdeeds of the West with the worst of humanity. His true legacy, the brutal militarism that plagued Latin America for decades, places him among the 20th century's worst villains. But a South American trip that spawned the myth, the man, the legend, began 59 years ago.